All right, welcome everyone. Welcome back to Break the Bed uh, podcast. It's been a while since we've got together to do one of these, but we're very excited to start back another series. Um, Today with me, I have Christy, your Shay Yang, and our new addition is May. We're very glad to have May on here with us, and with her being her first time. But this year for our Break the Bed podcast, we wanted to kind of focus on more like certain topics and build on like a series with it and just kind of go more in depth on certain topics than what we did the previous year where we kind of bounced around. Um, but it's a different take we want to go on. Hopefully it turns out well. But we're very excited to start this segment again. I know it's like I said, it's been a while for us to be together, do one of these. And, I think with everything going on, it was a little difficult for us to find time, but we're back here again. So please tune in once again since we started up again. For this series, I'm gonna start us off with a topic on personal growth and like self empowerment. The reason I chose this topic for us is because I think during these past 2 years with just dealing with the pandemic and just kind of like being isolated from everyone, it's definitely been a roller coaster, and it's definitely been a challenge for us to kind of continue on with our lives. Like everything kind of got halted in the beginning, and we've been like just on this journey of trying to figure out what to do with life and how we're gonna move forward and live with how things are going. All right, so we're gonna hop on in with my first question for everyone. I'm just gonna start off easy. So what did you want to do or be when you were little? And has it changed now in present day?
When I was little, I wanted to be a doctor because I remember telling my mom I didn't want to become a teacher because we'd always have to go to the school and decorate and get things ready for her new school year. But now I'm like becoming a dentist, so it's not too far off from becoming a doctor.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Hey, that's pretty cool. A dentist?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
And is that what you're going to school for right now?
Yes, I have 4 more years, maybe 5.
Okay.
Let's see. I think when I was really like I'm still into cartoons and anime now as a kid. I think I really just wanted to work in that industry pretty much. It's still kind of my goal, but it's kind of on pause for now just cuz trying to find a job and then to help family financially and then go back to college pretty much.
But when you were in school, were you in like an art major?
Uh not yet because there's just quite a bit of requirements before they let me enter my major pretty
Yeah,
much.
like the prerequisites.
Yeah, there was quite a bit.
Okay. But so you're still in the same field. You still want to be the same area of like drawing, anime, cartoon. Okay.
Yep.
So that hasn't changed.
So when I was younger, or even in high school, I've always wanted to, I guess, like live the big city life. I've always wanted to go to like an art school or fashion school. Um, I don't know if that's cliche or that's weird, but yeah, I've always wanted to do something like that and go for styling. But then it was never really encouraged, and to be honest, like I never even worked for it like when I was younger, like in high school. um like having Asian parents, they're always like, you have to be a doctor, go to become a
Yeah.
nurse. And so that was always encouraged, and I never really pursued anything of like art. And then now I'm still pursuing medical. And it's, it's always like I've always thought like, okay, I just have to do something medical. Like I don't know what else to do. And it sucks now because like my parents, they know kids of like their friends who are successful, and they went to like FEDM and they went to fashion school, and they're like, oh, look at them, they're traveling and
Mhm.
they're doing everything that, like they're so successful. And I'm like, it would have been nice to get that kind of encouragement when I was in high school or when I was in middle school or something. And to see that now being said, I'm like, it makes me kind of like regretful in my choices. But yeah, I mean, I don't regret what I'm doing now, because I know that I don't know, I guess it's definitely a growing field. And I've
Yeah.
always like seen myself either do something in the medical field too. So I guess it's not too bad. Um, but yeah, it just sucks now to hear that your parents and like, they what is it? They talk about their friends' kids about,
Yeah.
going
Their
into fields
success.
that,
Yeah.
yeah. So that kind of sucks, but yeah.
So just like a random question at the top of my head, since we're on the topic of like barriers and stuff compared to our education when we first started and now, do you
Mhm.
think just because of how like society is now with like internet and everything, how it's just a little bit more easier compared to when we were growing up where it was like just the beginning of the internet and like
Mm.
technology stuff just wasn't there for us?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I
Um,
agree.
mhm.
Yeah, because like it's like the options we had growing up definitely wasn't there to kids nowadays.
Yeah. It's so much easier now, like um to I feel like it's so much easier now to have access to, I guess, all the things that we wanted back then.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hey, this is Kirsty. I guess just going back to the question, it kind of just stems off of what we were talking about too. I had to think about this question though. Like when I was little, I wanted to be a teacher. Like I was so inspired by like the teachers that I had. Um, I had so many like creative teachers, inspirational and like patient and nice. I don't know, teachers that just made me, want to be like them.
Mhm.
Um, but then like as I got older, like I realized that like teaching is such a gift. Um, like you have to have that gift of, being able to teach in order for it to be like in order for your teaching to be impactful, and I just realized that I don't think I have that.
Mhm.
um I
Mhm.
like I'm probably like able to like of course like give instructions and whatnot, but like there's more to just like giving instructions to kids or students. It's um I see like I our teachers, like they're so inspirational because they have that gift. um they're able to make an impact on the students' lives, and I think those kind of teachers are what makes a difference.
Mhm. I
um
see that.
yeah, and again, like as I got older, I'm like, I don't think I have that. I like kids, but like, man, I
Not
don't know
that
how.
much. I'm just kidding.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Not enough to be a teacher for you guys.
Yeah, I like kids, but I don't know if I have the patience, that much patience. um, and then just talking about like present day now, I guess what has changed is like I realized that, man, I'm such a like I like doing things in the background, like
Mhm.
I'm so introverted. Like
Mhm.
I tried, jobs that, you're like upfront, actually like doing like the frontline stuff. And I'm like, that's not for me at all. I'm definitely more of a background person. Like working with data to like, I don't know, develop goals or develop a vision or whatnot. And so I guess that's why I'm in like the field I'm in right now. In health insurance, but like more working in the background. Um, and I don't like love my job, but then I think I like it enough to like sorry, one moment. I like it enough to like learn from it as much as possible. Um
Mhm.
and there's so much there's so many things that goes on behind the scene in whether that's like a business or an organization. And I think like I'm so used to like, oh, like I like being in the background and just pushing like an organization's like mission or vision or whatnot. Um
Mhm.
and then I had something else to say to this too. Oh, about like the future. Like I don't think I want to like do like what I do now forever.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
right now it's just so like, okay, it's for me to, pay my bills, pay my debts, for me to survive pretty much. But, most likely in the future, like I would love to like be able to just travel freely or like be like I don't know, financially stable, maybe like a professional photographer or something. It's just something that I like to do, like something that I'm
Yeah.
passionate about. Yeah.
That's the dream. I think that's the
Yeah.
dream we all strive for.
No, I like what you said because I think even though we had like when we were younger, we had all these dreams of like being something, and then it's changed right now. I also feel like we've learned so much about ourselves that
Mm-hmm.
right now would we really, really like I guess be successful in our dreams as we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm like, yeah, like you said, like now you kind of figure things out about yourselves. You're being an introvert. You like to be not you, but like me too. Like or anybody, they like to be by themselves, take breaks from people. And I wonder like if I really did strive for what I wanted to be when I was younger, would I have been happy with that? Because like you said, I am an introvert too, and I like having my alone time and like not having to do so many things that you have to do like by yourself, like I don't know, like presentations or things like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, now I'm just like, maybe I am in a career choice that is good for me because of how I am now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
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 Well, good points, everyone. Um, yeah, I think I like totally fell off of what I wanted to be when I was little. Like, like I don't like now, like when after like what Christy said, like trying to seeing what I wanted to be little and like just like the imagery behind it, like I can kind of see like my fail. I don't want to say like a failure as, but it is kind of like a failure. Like, I totally just went a different path. So when I was little, I wanted to be a construction worker. I wanted to build a house for my mom. I would always tell her like in kindergarten that I'm gonna build you a house. I'm gonna be a construction worker. I'm gonna build you this big house you can live in. And my mom till this day would never let it go. Like she would always bring that story up. She's like, "You're 30 now. Where's my house? We haven't.
Aw.
I don't." She's like, "I don't got time. Like, I'm almost on my deathbed. Where's my house at?" And I'm just like, "Oh, I don't know. Like, we'll get there." I consciously I am not a construction worker, and I never really like had the passion for it. So I just tell my mom like whenever I make the money, we'll pay someone to build a house for you. But present day, I'm part of that group of kids. I don't want to say kid, but group of adults that we kind of just don't know what we want to do with our lives, and we're kind of stuck in that loophole where we're trying to figure out who we are and what we want to do. I honestly don't know what I want to do as a career right now. I feel like all I know is that I want to inspire people, I want to help people, and I don't want to work a 9 to 5 anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I know I want to do, but I don't know what kind of job that is. Like you see like all the cool stuff of like content creators like on YouTube and like TikTok and like, oh, like they're making money by just living their lives. But I think for those stuff to be successful, like you just have to be like early on it. Like you have to be on the part of like the first people to use those platforms, and to start fresh now is just a little bit harder. Because everyone's doing it. Everyone wants to be like that next viral person. And that's just, to me, that's just not a living wage right now, where you can't just take that
Yeah.
kind of risk.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess at my job now, for people to know, I work at Disney World. I guess I am helping people, helping people's families, their family trips out, and crushing dreams here and there. But mostly helping people. You know, hopefully one of these days something will inspire me to do more. But like Christy said, like there's the jobs we have now are just to help us get by and
Yeah.
pay our bills enough. Like I said, I don't hate my job. I do enjoy working at Disney. And I publish this so they don't fire me if they hear it. But I love my job. Like there's its perks, there has its moments, but I just don't see myself like settling in Disney or like, being on the corporate level with them just because, I just want to do something more. So hopefully at one point, I'll figure that out.
I think it's
Um,
crazy because going to college, I swear I've had so many different like I guess career ideas. Like at one point I took an anthropology class and we were studying about chimpanzees and gorillas and how there are those, I don't know what they're called, but they basically go and save gorillas and they talk to gorillas and everything. I'm like, I can do that. I want to do that. I want to help, animals. And then I'm like, no, I don't love animals that much. Not that I don't
right?
love
Like,
them. Not that
yeah,
I
like
don't like them.
there's certain jobs where you see like, oh, I can see myself doing that.
Right? I'm like, one class can make you think about changing your career. But no, I love them, but I can't speak, or I don't think I even want like to hold one.
All right, everyone, thank you for sharing. Like I said, it's crazy to see, how much we change from growing up and what we wanted to be and now.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're gonna move on to my question 2 for you guys. So what's something you love about yourself and what's something you dislike about yourself? And you guys are more than welcome to, get as personal as you want to be.
I think one thing I like about myself is how like friendly I can be. I can make friends easily, even though I'm an introvert. So it's
Mhm.
kind of hard, but it's easy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mm,
Well, to
and
be
then
fair, to add on to that real quick, I think it's easier to make friends when you're a girl. I kind of just feel that.
It is. I'm sorry, but I also agree. It is.
I don't know, cause okay, so I'm a manager here at a fast food restaurant, Bojangles, and I have a whole bunch of new people coming in because of COVID. There's new employees coming in every day, so
Yeah.
they worked with me, and I was by myself as the manager for the first time. And they were like, you're my favorite manager. You make this run so easy, and you're so easy to get along with. And I was just like,
Aw.
thank you. I really appreciate that. But something I dislike about myself is how much of a people pleaser I am. So it's hard for me to say no to
Mm,
people.
I feel that. I feel that on a spiritual level.
Do you feel like a lot of people take advantage of that side of you?
I think some people do, but ever since I started working at fast food, I've learned a lot more to how to say no
Mm-hmm.
instead of just saying yes to everything.
Yeah. No, I feel like that's something that a lot of Asian kids have, like, trouble doing, is being more assertive and just trying to please everyone. I don't know why. Because I feel
I-
that too. I feel like
no,
that's
yeah,
how
you're right.
It's a lot of like, I don't know, at least for me when growing up, is a lot of my mom telling me if you help them, they'll help you in the future type of deal,
Mhm.
It's constantly like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Mhm. For me, I think what I like about myself is how I keep myself optimistic. So I don't really like putting myself down or let things get to me. But um I think what I dislike about myself is sometimes I procrastinate like really badly. I just don't
Mhm.
do anything.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's a good one. I know.
um, this one was hard because I was just like, oh, I never sit down and think about what I like about myself.
That's true. So we,
Yeah.
as people, we don't really
So
say what we like about ourselves a lot.
right. So I'm like, I guess one thing I do like about myself is, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but I think I am pretty logical. And I feel like I like that about myself.
Yeah, that's a
Um,
good.
yeah, I don't like just being around, different people and my friends, and just seeing how their way of thinking is, so it's it's similar to mine, but like at the same time it's also kind of different too. And I feel like I'm the more logical one. And I'm not trying to say that to offend any of them, but I
Mhm.
think they've had experiences that um, you know, that make them think and make them um, you know, think a different way. Like I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I feel like I am more logical, even like talking to my siblings, like when we talk about certain things, problems, and it's just like, there's a there's a straight path, and it shouldn't be that hard. And that's how I feel like I think a lot of the times.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's also one of the downfalls of it too, because I have been told that I am really black and white. My thinking is really black and white. Like, if it's not that, then it's this, or,
Mhm.
and I guess it's like a good and a bad thing. And I've learned to also not be so black and white in my thinking, because, you know, um, like I said, people, with talking to like friends and stuff, like, they all go through different things, and I just can't, like, for me, I tell myself like, okay, I shouldn't just think like this way is the only way.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's kind of like I guess one of the things that I can say I do dislike about myself too, because they can get too black and white, when things are a lot more harder than what I think make it seem to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you mean.
I think for me, it's like you said, I never really like thought about it, sat down and like, oh, what do I love about myself? But um, I guess I like how I am. What do you call it? Like I'm always trying to be attentive to others,
Hmm.
and I guess that's like the life of an empath. um, like just always like so intuitive to like how others feel. Like maybe that's just like, I don't know, a response to how I was taught up to. Like I always had to think about, oh, how my siblings feel, how my family feels, like, and yeah, that's like being the oldest too. You're always like,
I was gonna say,
oh,
maybe that's an old, like, being an older sibling thing.
yeah, I think so too. But I like how I'm able to, like, okay, like set aside like logical thinking of it and see, like how, like go into like how, I don't know, there's like the feeling portion of it and then like the logical portion. So I like how you brought that up here, because like I wish I was more logical sometimes.
Oh no,
Like
Mhm.
definitely, but I'm so like in tune to like, okay, if I do this, how would people feel about it? Like yeah, but in a way it's like, okay, like I'm okay with that, because like I just find like, oh, like it's just in a way like rewarding in a way too, like, oh, I'm able to like it make people feel happy because I know what makes them happy or whatnot. But the downfall to that is that I feel like when people feel sad, I take that so personal, like, oh my gosh, like um like if they are like, if they're going through something, I feel like I mourn with them with that, like, and it's like, that's so hard. So I'm working on that, but I guess that's what I would consider as like what I dislike about myself. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love people, but man, um like if someone was feeling down, I feel like that just takes a lot, like take a big toll on me, because I'm so like into like how people are feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I feel, because you said that you're like the older sibling, and I'm like, dude, I'm like the youngest out of all my siblings, and that's probably why I think the way I do. Like, very just straight to the point. No, you're wrong, or no, do this way or do that way.
Oh, that could be it. Yeah.
Um, so I think mine is kind of like the same with like Christian Year, where like it's like I love it and I dislike it.
Mhm.
I think like I have this like never give up kind of like attitude. I'm just like very resilient, and I love that about myself, just because I just always want to do my best. No matter how much I fail, like I'll find a way to like get back up and keep trying. And even like with like just people in my life, when like I don't lose hope in people, I always try to see the good in them, and I never want to give up on them. Keep helping them if they're struggling and stuff. Um, and like just like in the terms of a relationship, so I'm the one that never wants to call it quits. I just want to keep whatever we're going through. We're gonna keep fighting and fighting until we can work it out. And then the reason I dislike it, because I feel like sometimes it causes more harm than actual good. And I think there are times where you should call it quits, where you should kind of take a step back and just reevaluate and see the bigger picture. Maybe this relationship just wasn't healthy and it's just not going to work. Then maybe you need to just let it go, like Elsa. Just, and then and then just like you know open, close that door, open, see another one open, and see what goes on. I think like I'm just so never give up that I never want to let go of things, and that's what like kills me sometimes. But I blame it on anime. I blame it on Naruto for teaching me to never give up. And all these heroes, but it's just not realistic. So whoever's listening, it's okay to let go. It's okay to. It's you don't have to always keep being strong or keep.
Right.
Don't give up. It's okay to give up and just see it from a different picture. All right, moving on to the next question. Thank you for sharing again. My next question for everyone, or we're just gonna see, what does a healthy self-esteem mean to you?
This one was hard, because I, you know, I feel like I'm none of this. Like, I feel like reading about self-esteem, just making sure, like, okay, what is it really? I'm just like, oh wow, I have problems. Because I'm like, I mean, this might be for a lot of, Asian people too, but like just reading about it, it's just like being assertive and expressing your needs and opinions, and I this is also what I think of self-esteem too, like just having the confidence in yourself and your decisions. um and I'm like, wow, this is like not me at all, because I've been in so many situations where I'm like, I feel like whenever I want to say something, um to, like, I guess, like, for example, like at work or at school, I don't, because I don't have that assertive side of me to express my thoughts. And like, I also feel like making a decision in general is really hard for me, because I'm always like, maybe we can do that, or but like we'll just do whatever, or like whatever you guys think, like it's never really like your firm opinion, and like what you want to do, because I guess I always feel like maybe my thoughts and my ideas aren't the best.
Mhm.
Yeah. Let me go back to the question. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's what a healthy self-esteem looks like, is just being confident in your answers and your decisions, being able to say no without like feeling guilty about it. And
Mm.
um I don't, yeah, what do you guys think?
I mean, I think you bring a good part, about just how we were raised. I think, like I said, growing up, we were all taught to be very like obedient, as kids, listen to your parents,
Mhm.
and like I think when growing up, like they kind of, you know, put you down a lot if you do things wrong a certain way. And like I think growing up, like it's just an Asian culture, like our self-esteem gets destroyed very early on. And because we're
Yeah.
always getting compared to like our siblings or relatives, or that comparison just really destroys our self-esteem, because now we don't think we're as good as like other people. And so like when you build that into your head, it's kind of like, why even try now?
I think like um now it's so much different. It's so different now than compared to, like, I guess, like 10 years ago.
Mhm.
Because now you see all these things about, like, how to stick up for yourself, and just I just and now I see how my sister, like, raises her daughter and tries to teach her how to, like, say no, when she doesn't. I guess, like, it's okay to say no,
Mhm.
Mhm.
but instead of just always like doing what you're told. And I mean, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but like I understand like the concept of it, like
Yeah.
um, stick up for yourself and be okay with it.
Mhm.
Um, Now I see, like, people, like, okay, I go on TikTok like a lot, don't judge me. But I see a lot of like positive affirmations on there, like, you know, um, telling yourself that you are beautiful and you are
Yeah.
strong, you are creative and all that stuff. And so I'm like, now I'm like teaching my little niece how to say that too, because I'm like, I think it's very important, because we grow up so sheltered and so like
Mhm.
scared of displeasing, is that the word, or not pleasing
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you just like forget about like um yourself too,
Yeah. And that's a good point here. Like I was thinking about like healthy what does like a healthy self-esteem look like, but I wasn't really able to come up with anything. So I was thinking about like the unhealthy side of it. Like
Mhm.
what does like unhealthy self-esteem look like? And um I think like just me personally, like just because like social media is so big, like TikTok and whatnot, I feel like people are easily um like kids, they feel like they need to do or look a certain way or do certain things to like fit in. And so I think like the unhealthy side of it is molding yourself to be or do certain things that can end up hurting yourself or hurting others. So like for example, drinking or doing drugs, right?
Mhm.
That leads to like, that could potentially lead to like an addiction to alcohol or drugs.
Mhm.
And like for a moment it makes you feel better because like you know are doing what your friends are doing or what is like popular or whatnot, right? But when actually it's hurting your body and it's hurting your relationships with others, so like that's just pretty much what I could think of with like what's the unhealthy side of it. And I like how you brought up how your sister's um teaching your daughter, I mean not your daughter but your niece.
Uh-huh.
And then like you can say no,
Yeah.
to what you're not comfortable with or whatnot. So yeah.
I mean, the whole obedience thing, it's cool to be kind, to like respect your parents, your elders, and all that stuff. But I think over the years, I had to kind of readjust myself to like voice my opinions, just because if I don't say anything, the problem kind of sticks to me, and then
Yeah.
I brood over it,
Mhm.
and it's just stuck in my head. But yeah, I think it's sometimes you shouldn't voice your opinions, and sometimes you should. I think if you feel like you really should, then you should, rather than keeping quiet, because then I think that causes more problems than
Yeah,
just being quiet.
it definitely eats you up inside. Since we've talked about a lot about like just how like compared to us, when we were younger and the stuff we had to deal with growing up, compared to like this generation now, how like mental health is a little bit more supportive now. There's more stuff about mental health out there nowadays. So I think this is a very good question we'd like to hear from May's answer, just because for her being part of this younger millennial generation, you know, what do you see as mental health? Like your healthy self-esteem, May?
Mm, I don't know. I think having a healthy self-esteem is like believing in yourself in like anything that you do. So like um if you're in a class and you're not doing so well, I think it's just your mindset that helps you learn more and get better in the class. But I think nowadays a lot of people do have an unhealthy self-esteem just because I think a lot of people bottle up their emotions instead of expressing it. But I think the newer generation that's coming in, the millennials or whatever, um, um, I think they're gonna have a better chance because self-esteem is, or not self-esteem, but mental health is so much more spoken about now, and I think a lot more kids nowadays are becoming more aware that they don't have such a good mental health right now.
For sure. There's definitely more options, more help out there now compared to back then. Moving on to question 4. So what do you want your life to be about? We've talked about a lot about the beginning, how we want to be when we're little, to how we look at ourselves and our self-esteem. So what do you want your life to be about? What is your goals, morals?
Mm. I think ever since I was a kid, I've always wanted the white picket fence house with like the
Aw.
dogs running around. I think I think it's because well, growing up I was the only child, so it's kind of lonely. So
Mm,
I think just the white picket fence, kids running around the yard, dogs running around the yard. It's just always been a dream of mine.
Yeah, I think when I was younger I had that too, like, oh, I want the little house with the red door and the white picket fence too. So I'm like, oh, I that was a good reminder.
One's hard to
Oh,
answer.
oh,
I don't
sorry,
really
my bad.
have anything. Mostly just be financially stable to support family, and I'm chill. That's literally me.
I mean, that's a good answer. Like that's like
Yeah.
one of the things that everyone wants is financial like stability.
Yeah.
Mhm. I think for me, well, yeah, financial stability. Being because I feel like I'm really simple. I just want to be able to fund for my lifestyle and
Mhm.
pay my bills. And you know, I realized like I don't want to have the best high paying job. I'm okay with just having enough.
Mm.
Um and also one big thing that I'm still trying to work on and would love to um implement that to my kids in the future and my household is definitely to be fearful of God and just be on track with that. Like I said, I'm still working on that, so it's a work in progress.
Mhm.
Um, and I think right now with how the world is and how everything is, we are all kind of not. I mean, I guess I can't say we all, but a lot of people are losing themselves over all of this, all of the problems of the world, and
Yeah.
they're
Right.
forgetting what the bigger picture is, and we're all losing focus on that. So I feel like I would want to, I guess, make my life about Jesus more, being more, um, I don't know, what is it, like godly like in his
Mm.
eyes,
Yeah.
striving for that goal. And yeah, it's a hard walk, but I think we're all hanging on and hopefully it gets better.
Mm. Yeah. That brings a good point. Like I think with this question, like I think the past like 2 years or something, I might have thought about it like here and there, like wow, like my life could end like any day.
Hmm.
And so what do I
True.
really
Yeah.
want my life to be about, like um I think honestly it's nice to have, a good paying job if you do. Or like it's nice to have like a big house, like a name for yourself, a business, or um something that you created, under like that you made, for yourself or whatnot. But I think for me, like when I'm on my deathbed or whatnot, I just wish to like be remembered, or I just wish my life is known as like, oh, like I was able to love people because of
Yeah.
God's love. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, like
Mhm.
don't know what examples to bring up with that, but like, um, at the end of the day, it's just like, okay, like she lived her life, the way she did because of God's love. Um, and I was able to love people and pour love to others because of God's love. Um, yeah, I guess that's pretty much what I want my life to be about. It's um nothing like extravaganza, I guess, but
Hmm.
like God's love
Mm.
is pretty much extravaganza already, so that's all right with me.
Yeah.
I think like Christy brought like a good point where like I think when you like live life, you always want to be remembered. I think that's like one of the big things that as we move on to the next life or to the other side, we always want to hopefully like people remember us. We're not forgotten.
Yeah, my brother
Um,
was sorry,
oh, go ahead.
quick story. My brother was like talking to me about like my career and like what I'm going to school for, and he was like calculating my salary for me by the day, by the week, by the month, by the year, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like you are giving me anxiety just thinking about this. And I realized like at the end of the day, not that I don't want a lot of money, or not that I don't want to be financially stable, but that is the goal. But like I also like feel like it's important to live and not stress so much about all that stuff too, like
Yeah.
And when he was talking to me about that stuff, I'm like, I plan to, that's what I'm going to school for, is to hopefully be more stable in my, financial and everything. But like, I also want to live, and I feel like it's not the amount of money that I'm making, it's not important. And there's so many other things to it. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, when he was talking to me, I'm just like, oh, I just feel like there's so much more than just to make a lot of money and to be okay and be able to buy a home. Like those are all important things too. But like right now, like just seeing how everything is, it's just like life can end like at any moment. And are we ready for that? Like, have we done all that we wanted to? Are we as close to God as we want to be? Like, are we even like near that? And so I'm just like, when he was talking to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel like there's so many more important things than that right now.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just like this question is just like, it's changed so much like over this past 2 years of just from what we've seen. And it's just crazy how what 2 years can do.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's cliche to say, but I think like everyone wants their life to like say be meaningful. You want to be remembered.
Yeah.
You want to be like you know someone that people won't forget. And I think a lot of us growing up, we have that fear of being forgotten. Where if we were to pass, no one would care, or if no one would cry for us. So I think just having meaning is what everyone really wants in life. But I mean, that can come in like different shapes and forms of
Mhm.
how you put it. So yeah, I think that's all we have
Yeah.
for today's podcast. I'd like to thank everyone for sharing and just allowing yourself to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
just being transparent with everyone, just share our personal stories and lives with everybody. As we just continue this series on personal growth and self-empowerment, I just want us to, help sharpen each other, continue to live a life we are proud of.
Yeah.
Even though like this journey seems like it's something you have to go alone, but you don't. You'll definitely meet a lot of people along the way that'll help you grow in many ways, as long as you allow it. I think, we can speak from experience that, we've met a lot of people that have changed our lives. But before we leave, I want to leave us with my favorite Bible verse, First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 11. Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just in fact you are doing. Um, like I said,
Nice.
I believe it's such a beauty when you truly help each other grow on this journey. I think there's a saying that I heard, like, if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want something stable, you go as a team.
Mhm.
Nice. Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Join
Thank
us next
you.
time when we break the bread.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
You know, man.